Caw, caw.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of It Is What It Is podcast. I'm your host, Maverick Wolf. With me, we got Noir Daddy. And today's topic is open, so it's free for all. Shoot everything you want to shoot out. We got questions. Your questions, my question, the thirst trap, your mom, my ex, your neighbor, your best friend, whatever you want to say. Go ahead. It's a free for all, so let's get it going. Remember, this is called It Is What It Is for a reason. So shoot it out and get it rolling.
Don't say shoot it out. Links in the
Okay.
bio.
Fine. Don't shoot it up. Just mix it up. Spread it. Whatever you want to do.
That wasn't much better. That was not much better.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I wanted to mention earlier was I was perusing through
That's just
yeah Steam. Fuck, can't talk tonight. And it had a bunch of the Aliens games on sale. Yeah, I was like, and I was like, when the hell did these games come out? Because it was like, Alien. Actually, I kind of think now that I think about it, I remember the Alien, the Marine.
there was
the
the
Marine
Aliens
one.
versus Predator. There was
Yeah.
Alien, the arcade. Back in
No,
the day.
there was some really nice. I was like, oh crap, I want to buy this to play it. And I looked, I was like, okay, how much is it gonna cost for the whole setup? It was like $100. I was like, screw that.
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay, where the hell is Steam? Not Stream. Steam. Steam, stupid. But yeah, it was like there were a bunch of them on sale, and I was like, damn, it's because I kept hearing a noise in the background. It sounded like the motion tracker, and I was like, God, I want that. I want that audio for like my text message sound or something.
Okay. Sounds great.
Warhammer friendship game. Who the fuck needs friends? What was that? Quasimodo?
Close.
I'm sorry. Coming, Master.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Hey there, Lane. How you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Fireteam Elite. Alien Fireteam Elite. I've never heard of that one. I'll play some video games. Aliens Fireteam Elite. When did this come out? 2021. Okay.
That's a brand new game then.
Yeah. Multiplayer, co-op, third-person shooter. I hate third-person shooters. That's like a Destiny style. I'm not a big fan of that. So
Ain't Destiny a first person shooter?
yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. It can be because you can scroll backwards and it'll just have the gun, or I guess like you change your view forward and then you got the person like off to the side, which is to me annoying as hell.
Yeah.
I prefer the GoldenEye view.
Yeah, that first person shooter, like.
If anybody that remembers GoldenEye.
Yeah, I remember GoldenEye. That was one of the best games of all time. I mean, it was the game. It was a game of its time.
Watch it there.
Hey, I gotta say, GoldenEye was, it was the bomb back in the day.
Leisure Suit Larry is a pretty damn good game. God, that's old.
Yeah.
Damn.
You got what? Crash Bandicoot, Mario. It's me, Mario.
I need to go get ready to go to the hotel.
The freaking, if you look at it, the evolution of Mario has gone too far.
Why? What do you mean?
Dude, you had Mario just not speaking back in the day, and he looked
okay.
and like he was all bricky, like pixel and all that stuff, and then suddenly one day it comes out Mario 64. It's me, Mario. You're like, what the hell?
It's kind of like when you get married. She's all nice and subtle, and then 6 months later, it's like, God damn, what the hell did I do?
First week of dating, everything is fine. 6 weeks of dating, you're good. 1 month, you're okay. 3 months starts, shifting a little bit. 6 months, you're like,
Next.
Oh my God, what am I doing? You get married, the first year of marriage, everything is peaches and cream. Everything's nice. Until one day she wakes up or you wake up and it goes sideways. You guys start arguing. Next year, anniversary. Here you go. You keep walking. Next year, you just give her a postcard. 5 years later, you give her a piece of chocolate. Then you come back and you take half of it. And she's like, what the? That's how it is.
You gave her chocolate at 5 years? Shit.
Well, you got to remember,
more than what I gave her.
You got to remember the first year you give her you give her a rose. Then the first year's rose, 3 years, it's a postcard. 5 years is a piece of chocolate. And then you give her 10 years later. I mean, when you get to the 10-year mark, you give her the wrapper. That's it.
Then after 20, After 20, she wants alimony. Ain't happening, honey. Ain't happening.
Yeah.
Ain't happening. No. Who the hell's messaging me on Instagram? I'm busy. I'm live. Don't you know this, people?
See, you think you can come around and pursue the mafia and try to make me humble and break to your demands. There's no demands here.
Oh, that's you started a live video on Instagram. God, I thought I unfriended you. What the hell?
Shit. Damn, son.
So this Master Grade Extreme metal. Did I see that right?
Yes, I saw it.
Oh my freaking! You know what? I could do without the gold. Oh wait, ooh, that's just a frame. Holy shit!
Yeah, I saw it, and it was like, I saw it. I was like, what the hell?
Copper gold coating. White gold coating. White gold coating.
The white gold.
Yellow gold coating.
Okay.
Metallic molding color. So if y'all are looking to get me something nice for Christmas, yeah, this would definitely be it. Etching sticker. Hey.
So you want so you just want the edging sticker.
God damn, you're an ass. This I can't deal with this passive aggressiveness. But I mean,
yes,
that's just it's out of focus. But I'm sure you could see it. You could just imagine how good it looks.
Hey, Grassy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Woohoo! What's up? Thanks for popping in to say hi.
Somebody's complaining, Pinoy. Oh my God. Why? See?
Oh. You most definitely can. Right there. That one. That right there. I will slap you on the ass if you get that for me.
She might like it.
If she gets it for me, I'll slap her on the ass. Hey, I'm a whore, man. I'll tell you. I
can see. I can tell.
Kits free kits equal positive vibes. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of that thing on TikTok, and I was like, eh. And then I saw it on Instagram. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, but damn. So I've been working on something. I don't know if I want to show because I don't know if I want it to be a surprise, but I'll give you a tiny little preview. And that's about as good as it's going to get because I can't even see that.
It's not focused. I mean, it looks bright.
It looks bright.
It's white. Okay. Gotcha. Looking good, those camel colors.
Fuck, of course. Okay, fine, here. Oh shit, that didn't turn out any better. What the hell? Let's turn that off. Let's turn this down.
Okay, now it looks like now you can see it. At least for those who didn't know, he's working on. Well, that's the. What's it gonna be? The Ukrainian soldier or the Arabeth?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble, so I won't say anything. But he's definitely gonna be a desert trooper. But yeah, it's the rest of the parts are waiting for the paint for the last color.
Okay.
Except I'm redoing my paintbrush booth, so I have no ventilation. So, which means I'll open up the garage door and paint later.
All right. Looks good. That looks perfect. It looks good. I like it. The way it's coming out. At least you did the brown or the yellow type. A little bit like more bigger than the when you did the.
Well, I did it backwards. See, that's the problem with this one that never set well with me. It was the fact that I had too many darks. The gray was way too dark.
Yeah.
But the dark gray should have been the first color put on here. And then it should have went lighter. So that the more dominant color on this thing was the white.
Yep.
But it still came out good.
Hey,
I mean,
no complaints there, brother. No complaints.
I mean, Ukrainians are wanting mass production of this, to defend against Russia. So,
okay. They just need to sit down and have a Yu-Gi-Oh battle card, and that's it. I think I think that's how it should go. It should go. Countries that are in war just should sit down and have either a Pokemon battle or something. Video game. Okay, we won. Okay, what you want? What's your demand? Okay.
Yeah, or just flat out card game of war or Uno or something.
Yeah, it's the easy way. Play Monopoly.
Oh no, that's vicious. That gets vicious. Hell no. It got so bad. We used to do that when I was stationed at Eglin, and I worked the late shift, which was around 9:10 to about 7 in the morning. We were so bored. I went back to my dorm, got my Star Wars Monopoly game, brought it in. Me and the guy in the supply office. It got so bad we printed our own money for the game because we were just buying shit up. It just was never ending. 2-person Monopoly is never ending.
You see, that's why like the last Monopoly I played was the one with the debit card.
we had. I don't know if we still have it or if I threw it at the X, but we had that one, and that one was. I mean, it was pretty fun with the debit card. The kids actually got a kick out of the swiping.
Yeah. Damn, son.
Now I'm trying to teach them how to do that in real life, the real life Monopoly.
Nah, the real life Monopoly, it's it's way out of our league because
There's a lot of this.
There's a lot of this, and not enough putting away. There's a lot,
a lot of swiper, no swiping. Yeah.
I think if you can go to whatever you're gonna buy, any store, and you go like, hold on, okay, later.
Yeah. They're getting really good at it though. The oldest one started putting her stuff in Excel to get all the numbers and to work the numbers and stuff. The youngest, if I don't intervene every payday, she would be broke as a joke. I sat there and I was like, I looked at the account. I was like, okay, you got $600. So you need to make that last until next payday. Next thing you know, I get a notification. Your account has dropped below $100. Like, what the frack? Are you kidding me? I was like, look, okay, I know I know what I can do to spend $600 in 4 days. That's easy. That's one trip to Gundam Play Store or
in 4 days,
yeah.
$600 in 4 minutes.
Yeah. Add to cart. Checkout, please. That quick. I can let it sit in the cart for 4 days and then check out. Either way, it's only going to take 5 minutes. But yeah. I'm like looking at her going, what did you do? And I looked at the account. I'm like, never mind, I know. I said, guess what? Now I'm taking more money out. So I gave her a chance. I said, look, I don't mean to push this on you, but I really cannot stress the importance of having money in your savings account. Because the last thing I want either one of you two to do is talk to your mom to ask for money. And that's the last thing they want to do too. In fact, I don't even think it's on the list.
That's the last thing they want to do. Play a game of whack, fuck. Yep.
I have no desire to go that route, and I said I'll help you out best I can, but you guys gotta learn to save. Mm-hmm. So I can't stress that enough.
No. So yeah, so let's see, how's everybody doing, and how many people we got on Twitch? We got anybody on Twitch? One person on Twitch? One person on Twitch?
That was Death Scythe. He moved over.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's take a look here. Hey, we got Death Scythe, Hell EW43, and Maker Plier.
Okay. I'm surprised. Like, see, I'm going to call him out. Where are you, Christian? Venomous Creation. You give me a call, telling me asking me to remind you about the hour of the podcast. I gave you the time of the podcast. Where are you?
We're going to make it sting tonight. We're going to make it sting. We're going to call him out.
Where are you, man? Where are you?
You know what? I don't. I if you've been in my lives, I just don't give a damn. It's frustrating, but I don't care. That's why I am going to only give these out during my lives. Good God, you can't see shit. Well, wait, I might get it up there real close. There, can you see it now?
Yeah.
You're number one. These are my Zero Fucks coins. I got them in nice little plastic thingies. They're only going to be given out to people who are in my live, and I'm just going to randomly just like ask a question or something. I'm going to say, yep, there you go. You want it. It's yours. Give me your address. And if you ain't in and you're not there hanging out with me, you get no gifts. Yes, you did say you would be here.
Liar.
Well, she's only half liar. She is here. I mean,
yeah, But yeah, you know what?
Call him out. Do it. Oh, I need more light. Can't see my fat guy. There we go.
See, so I believe our moderator decided to take vacation today. He's not here on YouTube. That's it. A lot of people ask about it, and
My
No,
dad
we're still
says one of my arms is bigger than the other.
that happens. If you don't switch arms every now and then, you got to remember you got to work them both equally.
Well, this one starts and this one finishes off most of the time because this one goes
Well,
numb.
but then sometimes you switch over, start with this one, and finish with the other one.
No, because see, if I start with this one, I'm so uncoordinated to be like that.
Hey, then you're
skin. So still trying to figure out. I tested streaming a video game to Google Meet. Frame rate's not the greatest, but
Okay.
it kind of does the job. To where we could do stream a game to the podcast. Okay. It definitely helps if you don't do it over Wi-Fi. But unfortunately, I cannot run a network cable to like my PS4, and my Quest doesn't have network cable, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, that being said, the Quest 2. There are a couple of new games that came out, and I picked a few of them up. One was I played it the other night. I played both of them the other night. The Ultra Wings 2. I have Ultra Wings for PlayStation, and I use a HOTAS, so I got the full throttle and joystick, and now I'm trying to actually hold it, just stick with my hand. So I'm like, I look like this, and next thing you know, I'm just
and that's how we lost Goose.
Yep, and that's how we lost Goose, them pussy. And then the drum one, which I hope they do song packs.
Okay.
Not that the songs on there they're indie songs, but there's some really good ones on there. They got some pretty catchy.
Yeah, I still remember what was it, Rock Band games back in the day.
Oh, my daughter still plays Guitar Hero and Rock Band upstairs on the Wii because that's what we have it for.
I used to have it on PlayStation, and it was like the bomb back in PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3.
I looked up that game that I wanted on if they had it for PS Now, I would get PS Now. Is Robotech Battle Cry.
Okay.
It's like Transformers Devastation as far as the artwork. It's got that cell animation art type of look. And the graphics on it look almost identical to Transformers Devastation, which is a more newer game. And this is and Robotech Battlecry is a PS2 game, but they didn't have it, so I'm like, well, no point in subscribing there.
Speaking of games, what do you think about the Road to Battle Log? The Road to Gundam Battle, online battles. That's going to be a good game when it comes out. Any game, especially for the community, if they need to make it where you can buy like a gaming platform that you can put in, and you can put in your
out yet for it?
and you can put in the Gundam on it and just use your custom made into
it. Have they sent out a video with the gameplay?
I think they did. I'm not sure.
Gundam Breaker Battle? No. I'm looking in the browser.
Yeah, I think it was Road to Gundam Battle or something like that.
Road to Gundam, as TikTok calls it.
Yeah.
I made this new Gundam model. I'll be your damn guide on this damn tour. Any damn questions? Let's see. I don't see anything. I know the last time I went to the website, it was kind of like, stay tuned for more, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh.
Yep. That's good. Dude, I was I was looking on the Disney app. If you're in Galaxy Edge and stuff, you can hack the Millennium Falcon. You can hack the X-wing. You can hack the droids. There's spot in the app that you go to, and it says hack and stuff, so you can hack it to where the Millennium Falcon does if it's turning on and just blowing right there. And I'm like, next time I go to Galaxy Edge, I'm gonna try this out, see if it goes.
Well, they used to have. I thought they used to have the dragon and on Gringotts in Universal activated with the wand.
Yeah.
With one of the spells, and they turned it off apparently, or
okay.
I can't remember, or if it ever was.
Yeah.
But that's the type of stuff everybody likes. I mean, when we went there, we spent like 3 hours making sure we hit every single interactive section, and I mean, went back through and I tried to get video of most of them, and I couldn't. But people really, I mean, they like the interactive stuff. So hacking the Falcon, that's hacking a droid.
Yeah, one of my friends was like, "Oh, if you do go to Galaxy Edge, are you gonna make a lightsaber?" I'm like, "Hell no, I don't want a Disney lightsaber." No offense, guys.
You're supposed to say, "Where can I get some damn bait?" That's the line. Now there ain't any more damn questions. Yeah, where can I get some damn bait?
Yep. Right, your question is, as your question, you want me to read it out loud?
Will there be bathroom breaks, and do we get snacks? Look, if the person driving doesn't have to go, we don't stop. And if the person driving isn't hungry, we ain't eating. Which in my car, in my age, is usually, we're stopping about every 10 minutes. And we're munching on something.
Damn, bro.
These only hold so much.
That's why you get the 60, you get the big bottle, the 2 liter.
I'm just gonna get a catheter.
Hey, if anything,
it's not gonna be in a bag. I'm gonna have it going through the door, out the side of the door, so it just drips outside. Cop pulls up. Your car's leaking, and he's gonna look at me, and I'm gonna be like,
yeah,
yeah, I know. The car leaking.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, but right now, I believe, I'm not sure, I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if it was today or yesterday that the Uncharted movie started.
Now that's based off the video game, right?
Yep.
Whatever.
But it's like the way I was looking at it, it's like if they mix Uncharted 1 with Uncharted 4 all together.
And I'm losing faith in some of these video game to movie things, especially with like Monster Hunter. As soon as I saw the preview for Monster Hunter, I'm like, there's no way I'm watching this. This isn't Monster Hunter.
Mm-mm.
This is not Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, they had like 2 monsters, and that was it?
Yeah, they had two monsters, and they have the chick from Resident Evil.
Well, I mean, that was the only thing carrying that movie.
And Tony Jaa.
He died, didn't he? Didn't he get smashed, or?
I am not sure.
Who cares? Yeah, that's and I'm pretty sure it wasn't designed. The Book of Boba wasn't designed that way, but the community definitely caught on to, Mando carrying that series. And I'm sure that wasn't the intention of having him in there. But it
You know,
definitely seems that's what they did, doesn't it?
yes, with the Book of Boba,
Because they record when they shoot it they shoot all the episodes like back to back,
yeah,
like almost nonstop. Like as if it was a movie. So it's not like they sit there and Wednesday they get done shooting, they edit it, cut it, put it out there, and they go, oh crap, our ratings are low. We'll bring in Mando, and then shoot, before next Wednesday. No, it don't work that way. So it's like they have no idea if he's gonna carry it or not. So I'm sure it wasn't that way, but damn, if the impression wasn't there.
No, but speaking of the truth, they the way the whole Book of Boba, man, compared to the book itself, yes, it's then jarring carrying the Book of Boba, the whole franchise, Plus, you had I think what Disney was doing with the Book of Boba is concentrating on a lot of cameos. They brought a lot of characters to the show
from Mandalorian,
from the whole Star Wars, because they brought Luke back, they brought Ahsoka, they brought everybody, Mando,
Well, Ahsoka, they're gearing up for her series.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so Ahsoka, okay, it's fine, she's gonna get her series, and Luke, they have Luke here now. They're explaining why one and the other.
But I mean, I not to bash it. It's Star Wars. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But I'm like, I remember I was watching. What was it like? Episode 3 or chapter 3? Was it chapter 3? That was all Mando, and I'm like, wait a minute. Am I watching the right show?
Yeah,
I go look and I'm like, I guess I am. But
when he came out with the dark saber,
so it's like
man,
it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't intended to have the appearance that he was. If he wasn't in it, the show wouldn't do good.
Yeah,
but I don't think they had enough script.
Exactly. That's what I think.
Yeah,
the whole script with the whole Book of Boba was like, okay, now what? Shoot me. Mandalorian did so much, has so much popularity that I believe that when Obi-Wan Kenobi series comes out, sorry, when the Kenobi series comes out now, you got Ahsoka coming too. I hope that these series do good on their own, and they don't have to see Mando running around in some corner.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, you'll see like, hey, Pedro, yeah, go do your thing.
They'll be in the cantina, Mos Eisley, and then you'll see Baby Yoda walking by.
I can bring you in warm. I can bring you in cold.
Well, yeah, I certainly hope. I'm sure if you take into account the Clone Wars series and whatnot, they should have enough for Kenobi. Plus, half the crap literally you can just make up. There's really no storyline to follow, other than what's he doing? Well, over here he picked some berries. Over here he dug in the sand. Over here he made a latrine.
Over here he's crying.
Yeah, over here he's crying. I felt alone. I did this to myself. But
the way I see it, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is just. I hope it does good by the book, because the book of Obi-Wan, it's different. Plus, for me, the Book of Boba should have been mentioned instead of Book of Boba. Should have been the Memories of Boba.
Well, with that there, I enjoyed the first 2 episodes where it showed what everybody had suspected, and is that he survived the Sarlacc pit. Now, I remember way back when there was even they were trying. Someone was trying to point out, this is before TikTok, before Vine. It was just all I had was YouTube, where people were trying to show you saw Boba jet out of the Sarlacc pit. He fell in, and then somewhere in the background you saw him fly off.
Yeah.
But he didn't. I mean, so
Now the question is, how long was he down there? That's the question.
yeah, that
Because remember, like he has to sleep in that tank for a reason.
oh yeah, because of the acid and the fumes. But again, was he down there for how long? Was he down there? Where does oxygen supply come from? Because you saw him go to a stormtrooper and get his air so he could breathe. Um,
Now it also gives you a thought with the whole thing, because if you look at with the dark saber, for Mando it acts completely different, but before him it was that guy, um,
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. Was Moff Gideon force sensitive to carry the black saber? Because how was it reacting differently? Plus, Moff Gideon didn't have nothing to think about than other than power and stuff. Mando had the thoughts of Baby Yoda in his mind constantly, like this little brat got to me.
Yeah, and they didn't really show a whole lot of him using it either.
Yeah.
Just some basic stuff, so you don't know if it acted different or if it acted the same.
Yeah, it's like what we were talking a few days ago, the last episode of the Book of Boba. Mando gets thrown off of a robot when he was cutting the robot with the dark saber. Dark saber disappeared. I'm like, where did he go? You see him running, then you see him you see the dark saber behind his back. I'm like, and how did you pick it up if you just jumped, fell from the robot, picked up Baby Yoda and ran? You picked up Grogu and just ran. Did he had it? Did he put it away?
Yeah, those are those continuity things I don't like to try and figure out, because it's just it's like it's more, I get more humor of seeing the guy in white t-shirt and blue jeans on the Black Pearl with the rest of the pirates.
Yes.
That type of thing. Oh, looky here. Here, the windshield was cracked, and then they blew the windshield out. In this scene, the windshield was still there, but it had a bigger crack. It's continuity problems. Why can't they get this shit together? And I'm like, I'm just thinking in the back of my head, you know what? Why don't, on a big production like that, there's a lot of shit.
Yeah, like right
really,
now,
you can't really stop to. Oh no, we need to spend another 10 hours at $50 an hour per person to make sure we
watching him pick up the dark saber.
Yeah, so
pick up and run. But yeah, it's all about perspective. How Disney, how the movies are made and everything that goes out. I just hope that for the next season of The Mandalorian, it continues doing good. Right now, somebody was teasing a matchup between Henry Cavill and Jason Momoa and The Witcher, like putting them together in The Witcher, and I'm like, you really want to put those two monsters together in and The Witcher? It will be good, but at the same time, it's like, no offense, not saying, I know a lot of people like him. He's one of my favorite superstars. I mean, wrestling stars, The Rock. But please give movies to somebody else, not because you're The Rock or you're a big name. You want the movie, and you get everything you get.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
I mean, Black Adam, and it's like, can you just find somebody new, give someone else a chance? Don't. I mean, you're basically, to me, when you pick a superstar like that tells me you have a shit script.
Yep.
And shit production, and you're counting on that superstar to carry your movie. Here they got Cedric Diggory as Batman. Now, he's not a big actor, so it should be good. Someone who doesn't do a lot of movies is going to work extra hard to make it right. Someone who does do a lot of movies, you're going to see the same crap, and it's why I don't like Will Ferrell. I can't stand him because every movie that he's in, it's the same acting, style. Adam Sandler's almost the same way. Actually, he's very much the same way. Although I would rather watch him, but not anymore. Now the whole style just gets annoying.
Hey, we're saying it out there. Mark Wahlberg, most of his acting is the same.
Yeah, it's
the same pattern. And he goes, he's either tough boy, softy, between. I know it all. Look at Four Brothers was good. I liked it.
He had a different style in that one.
Transformers.
Transformers was the same. That's a typical Wahlberg acting style. Now the
one with 48 miles or something like that.
What's the one with Caprio and Nicholson and whatnot? He shot the cop at the end. Jason Bourne.
Oh. You mean Matt Damon?
Yeah, it had Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, Wahlberg.
You mean with Leonardo DiCaprio? Yes.
That had a different acting style.
But he wasn't. Deception. What else?
A lot of these guys. So get someone new. Get someone that's gonna work.
Yeah.
I like seeing The Rock. Don't get me wrong, but enough.
Enough is enough. You know what? We're gonna get something. Somebody's gonna write to us or hit us up on social media. You know what? It doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay. Because yes, I saw the cast. Remember, the cast for Black Adam. It looks good. Hawkman looks good. Dr. Fate looks perfect. Pierce Brosnan, he's playing it good. The actor. The mask itself, it's kind of confusing looking at the mask of Dr. Fate, the way that the new mask they made. I'm like, where are the eyes? Where are the eyes of this dude? You can't, you can barely see it. But there's a bunch of movies coming out. You got what they, I the way I feel with some of the movies, you got cast. Okay, you're casting for people, but because you got 250 people, no name, but then you have this actor comes by. I want to play the part. Okay, the part's yours. Like right now, like Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson is Batman. Fine. But he already has the sequel for Batman 2. And he's already talking about, hey, bro, que la hay, mi hermano.
Well, getting a big name actor, especially one, I can't say this nicely, of age, they cannot carry the franchise for very long. That's why when they started casting the Avengers and stuff like that, they had some people that could carry the series over the span of 5-10 movies, whatever. You said that you get Black Adam as The Rock. Well, by the time you get Black Adam 2, it's gonna be Black Adam in the wheelchair. The people's wheelchair. But yeah, Patterson is Batman. He can carry that at his age for quite a few movies before he has to,
Yeah, because right now, I don't care about bringing in the Twilight people and all that to the movie. It doesn't matter, but the way it is,
Batman starts glowing and starts looking all glittery, then we got fucking problems.
But the only thing we got to understand, this is a Batman from the multiverse. This is not the same Batman as Michael Keaton's Batman, as Paul Keemer's,
and
Christian Bale,
Nipple Boy,
Ben Affleck. So you got so this is the Batman universe. You got Michael Keaton. Uh, you got Michael Keaton. Then you have Val Kilmer. Then you got Christian Bale. Then you got Ben Affleck. Whatever happened right here, the Batman and Robin movie, we don't talk about it. It never existed in my book. The Robins never existed. There's no Robin alive in any Batman movie so far that has come out.
No. And that's where I'm trying.
No Batman, no Robin, no Batgirl, nothing.
I couldn't get too much into the Teen Titans. I know a lot of people like it. I couldn't get into it because the storyline.
Well, you're talking about the Titan show?
Yeah, with Robin and whatnot, and I'm just like, I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
DC's got so many, is so splintered in its stuff that it's rough.
Yeah, the way I see it for that movie, for that show, it should have been called Young Justice, right? Because you got Starfire, you got Raven,
they're toying around with that though.
You got Nightwing, you got Robin, you got Nightwing, you got Robin, you got Red Hood, you got Connor,
which is Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the Dawn and Dawn and Hawk, which Hawk dies. You got Beast Boy.
Yeah, they're toying with a Young Justice League. I don't know, movie or something, and I know we talked about this before. DC seems to jump into the story halfway through it. Like, bam, okay, here we go. And look, and we're going to bring Hawkman in right about now. And everybody's going to scream and get on their chair, on their feet and cheer in the movie theater. And you just crickets.
Yeah, we kill him. Oof,
yeah. It's like, Who the fuck was that? That guy looked like that guy from Buck Rogers. Who the hell was that?
Yeah, it's like right now DC is trying to make so much. They got the Black Adam going on. They're trying to do the new Justice League. Try to refix the Justice League. Okay, so you got to give another Superman movie with Henry Cavill. Make it a Superman 2. We already got 2 Wonder Womans. That's good. We got 2 Aquaman movies on the. That's good. Flash is getting Flash is getting a speedrunner movie. So, it should be okay. The Flashpoint should be okay. Hopefully it does good. But you're forgetting about Hal Jordan. Because they don't know right now. DC doesn't know right now if either to bring Hal Jordan, what's his name? Yeah, Hunter the Hunter, the Martian the Manhunter. They don't know if to bring him. You already got Shazam. So, or they want to do the Green Lantern Corps. So, but we got to pick a horse. You got to figure out which movies you're gonna want to throw out, because if you go, what's the original 6 from the Justice League? Who are the original 6? The original 6 is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, and you either have Martian the Manhunter or you have Hal Jordan.
Yeah. See, and that's, and I know this has been discussed. If they had done that, like Marvel did Avengers, DC would have been on top of it just as much as they would have, because the Justice League would have been
right on point.
The Avengers, right there, boom. You have all the different. You have Iron Man. You have all the other Avenger movies. Now, some of the side movies came out a little bit after, not too much after, but it's still all centered around the Avengers. So, Justice League, Legion of Doom, just sit there and end the movie with Luther and the,
Vandal.
the fuck his name.
Destroy.
Yeah. So I think we should have a league of our own. You know, it's like, do something with it.
No, run with it.
Yeah, go run with it. You have all the people there. The only one you're missing is like you said, either the Martian or Green Lantern.
Yeah,
that's all you're missing. And you already did Green Lantern, bro. We don't really talk about that too much.
Yeah, but that's the point. With Green Lantern, they want to either bring. They don't know if to go back and redo Hal Jordan's story or go with John Stewart. You can't jump to John Stewart without Hal Jordan being in the universe.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately for people, John Stewart is the best. He's one of the greatest Green Lanterns. But for me, and for everybody that knows, Hal Jordan comes out before every other human Green Lantern was there.
Yeah, yeah.
He has to be like, okay, welcome to the police force. Here you go. I'm your captain. Here's your badge. Go run your sector.
Yeah, and with Justice League, he was the one in Justice League. Hal Jordan, he was the one that was there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they just, it's like they only want to put out one-hit wonders, and they're throwing shit on the wall to see if it sticks, and if it doesn't stick, they scrap it and make a stupid movie.
Yeah, it's like right now, if you think about it and you look at it right now, in Smallville, it was it was the CW show. Everybody's like, Smallville wasn't that good. Smallville was good. It had the good content in its time. It had the good storyline. You had Blue Beetle in it. You have Bart Allen, not Barry Allen, but you have Bart, which was the original speedster. Then you had all the names. You had Jay Garrett, Barry Allen, Wally West, all those. Then you had Lex Luthor, which he was one of the bad guys there. You had Green Arrow. You had Aquaman came in. Cyborg showed up. So you had them. You had the league going there. And then you had Hawkman comes out in one port. You had Clark. You had Kara, which was Supergirl, came out in one, in some port. Then you had Sod. You had Doomsday. So it's just
that in itself is the reason why I had an issue with Smallville.
Bizarro.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but when I started watching Smallville, and I'm like, okay, young Clark Kent. Where the fuck are these other guys coming from? They're not even supposed to be here.
That is true.
These guys didn't exist till afterwards. Sometimes even because of something that happened, because of Superman's intervention, this person came to be. Superman, not Superboy. Superman.
Not Super Teen.
Yeah, exactly. Super Pube,
puberty, But with the Smallville thing, I liked it the way they went with Smallville because it wasn't about Superman. It was about the journey of Clark Kent trying to figure out where he fits in the universe, which it was good. I liked that. But with the whole when the other shows came out, the Green Arrow show, everybody's like, "Oh, I like Green Arrow." Green Arrow came out before. Green Arrow is a superhero that came out before Batman. I do not believe you're going to the right point. Like the oldest two members of the Justice League, and that have been around about a bit, is Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman.
Yeah.
Aquaman. Green Arrow came out later.
Yeah, see, that's where Hawkman. No one knew who Hawkman was until a long time after that. What the hell was he doing in Smallville? It's like they ran out of something to write, and they're like, well, let's just bring teenage versions of the superheroes in.
Yep. Because you remember, you remember in Smallville, the guy that played Hawkman was the guy that played Daniel in Stargate.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, I was part of the Justice Leagues of America." Okay, who the fuck is Justice League of America? You know, if people, you're trying to introduce something to some people that don't know, like to a generation that most of them don't read comic books, don't know about the Justice League of America. And in Justice League of America, yes, you have Dr. Fate, you had the original Green Lantern, and you had all these superheroes there. But hey, what happened to them? Where they at? Where they gone? It's like a lot of people were saying back in the day, oh, why didn't they make the last episode of Smallville and bring in Bruce Wayne and have them meet? Because this is a worker for this is bullshit.
Yeah. I mean it, but you know, entertainment value is one thing versus some semblance of accuracy on what it's based on what it's supposed to be based on. So if there's entertainment value, then so be it.
You know, right now I'm just hoping that the series Halo does good and doesn't flop.
I know they never. Sorry,
you got some big names in there, but hey,
they never do it. But I wish they'd bring back Firefly.
Yes.
I just started off and it's like, you know, but they can't. It almost has to be recasted.
Yeah, you basically have to recast everybody.
So not sure if it had the same vibe because Nathan Fillion had a certain acting style that made that captain character in the show. So
I mean, you know, Firefly is such, you know, they should, if anything, they should just leave it alone, you know, and just be a masterpiece of its own. You know, it's right there. This is a work of art.
And that's why I don't think they'll ever resurrect that one. I think worst case scenario they'll resurrect Battlestar Galactica again before they ever redo that one.
Dude, it's like when I was watching Stargate. Stargate for me was like, what am I watching? You know, it's good. It was a good show, but at the same time I was like, and what am I watching again? You know,
I rewatched the first season. First few episodes of the season, I'm like, okay, now I know why I got hooked on it. And then as soon as I saw the other Stargate show, I was like, now I know why I left it. Because it's like, I get you're trying to make some money by saying, oh, there are multiple Stargates, you know, so they're doing. It's like, okay, fine, so what? So just visit this place. You don't create another show, you know. But when they did the
Atlantis,
that one bugged the hell out of me. But the last one they did,
the universe with the ship, that was like
that one I liked.
I liked it. It was good, but I was like, why are we jumping from one place to another? And everything was coming out of Earth.
It had the Stargate name because it had. It dealt with the story and the technology and stuff like that, but there wasn't no damn Stargate in it whatsoever. But I did kind of like it until they canceled it, and I'm just like, really, you're just gonna leave it like this? So, you know, but it was interesting. It was a different take. Definitely would have to recast, and it would suck. Yeah, definitely. It wouldn't be the same.
Universe suck. Bye. You're out.
I liked it because it was different take on it. I got so sick of. Basically, they washed SG-1, Atlantis, the story. They took the script. Let's just control find all, replace this actor's name with this actor. Control paste and then push the script out to the other one, and it's like, okay, same thing, different names.
Yeah, the same thing happened with Warehouse 13. You remember that show?
Oh yeah.
That one was, I was like, okay, at first, the first few episodes, I was like, ooh, that sounds, looks interesting.
Then it was just a recycle.
And then, okay, and then it went like, then they changed the main actress, and I'm like, what the hell?
Was it Dark Skies? Was that the one with the alien invasion?
I believe, yeah, I think so.
I like that one, and then it went all Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and that's when this show just died.
It's like, I don't know if you ever watched it on Netflix. You remember V Wars, like the Vampire Wars that came out with the guy from Vampire Diary? It was a good show. I liked it because it was like they went to Alaska, I mean to an Antarctic, and they had a virus come out. They both, him and his best friend, got the virus. Only one of them mutated. The other one didn't. So I'm like, okay. So I watched it. It only has one season, and I'm like, and okay.
Then you
fine.
then you're like, oh, okay. Now I know why there's only one season.
Yeah, I'm like, now I understand why.
But that's Netflix for you. Netflix does that. Netflix will put something out, and if it doesn't meet a certain criteria, they won't go any farther.
Yeah.
A lot of good shows only lasted one season because the numbers weren't there. But they're ones like that I like. So
hey, right now you got NCIS. NCIS, is a good show. They actually, right now they got rid of Mark Gibbs, and I'm like, oh, okay. Get rid of Gibbs. He's gone finally. The guy's done.
Yeah, but that was their
that was their moneymaker.
That was their CSI Miami guy with the glasses. God, I can't remember his name. Shoot. Which if anyone's seen Officer and Gentleman, he was the goofy guy in Officer and a Gentleman.
Yeah. Yeah. The kids and I are here in the TV. Hey, what's up? Thank you for joining.
Torchwood
But
was good until season 5. I never watched Torchwood.
Nah, I never got into that. I don't know what you're talking about. If it's one of those like girly shows, no, I'm good. The only ones I saw is Vampire Diaries.
You mean like Vampire Diaries?
Vampire Diaries, the original. They were good. Saved by the Bell. Hey, I love Saved by the Bell.
Hey.
I love Saved by the Bell. That was one of the shows that I used to watch back in the day. But with the whole different, different topics, different eras, different movie shows for different, I remember back in the days we had the Little Rascals back in our day, and they just remade it, and it was good, and to the point where they tried to make another one that they screwed up, Alfalfa. And I'm like, nope, we're done.
The remake was good until the theme song ended.
Yes.
Then when they started actually showing the kids in there, I'm like, yep, I'm done. I'm out. So
okay,
that's
Darlene,
like 5-10 minutes in? I'm like, I'm out.
Okay. So Darlene's saying, no, it's a sci-fi. It's on HBO Max. I don't watch HBO Max, so we're good. And it's a British, and it was a British show. It's like Being Human. Like Being Human.
That one, the first season, I really liked.
I mean, but which one? The British one or the American
British
version?
one?
Yes.
I like the British one.
You had those, glory movies that were good and that never, and I hope they never touched them, were the Underworld series. That whole vampire war against the werewolves, that was perfect right there. You have different topics, different eras. It's like I say, we had Little Rascals, we had Pee Wee Herman. That was one of the days. We got Crocodile Dundee's. We had Bill and Ted into the new movie. No offense, you should have not taken that deal, but hey. You know, we'll leave it there. You know,
How to end your career in $5 million or less.
you
That'll
know,
do it.
it is good. You know, it's like with Keanu Reeves. You know, going through those movies. Al Pacino. You had The Devil's Advocate. If it wasn't because Keanu Reeves decided to take a pay cut, they would never got Al Pacino. You know, Heat was a good movie. I liked it. Having the De Niro against Al Pacino, that was good. Yeah, you know, Tombstones were good. The Untouchables was great.
You know, I never saw that. I never saw that movie.
The Untouchables?
Yeah, never did it for me. I never saw it. Never. I was like, whatever.
Oh, and Highlanders. Highlander 1, Highlander 2 was great.
Highlander, yeah. Highlander should have stopped at a certain point. When they were in the future, that was like, what the fuck was it?
Yeah, that was Highlander 2, some remix shit. I was like,
no.
First you present me the past, and now you present me the future. And where are we? What do we do?
Highlander 1 was right where it should have stayed, because that
I am
was
Duncan MacLeod from the I am Duncan MacLeod from the Cloud MacLeod. Okay.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Yeah, you know, I remember, you know, like the show was good. I liked the show with Duncan. I liked the movies with Connor. I'm Connor MacLeod. I am Duncan MacLeod. We're families. No, we're not.
I'm not related to this man. Not related. No.
Nope.
No. Don't know who he is.
You're not even Scottish.
No shit. Yeah, shitty accent.
Yeah, you know, but there was a couple good movies, so, you know. So, yeah, so, you know, so whatever questions you got, people, shoot it, you know.
We got a little bit of time left.
Just bring it out, you know, let's see how many questions you got, what you got.
I still gotta
what you
watch
want to talk about. You know, like we say, you know, anything goes, you know, thirst traps, your questions, your mom, your ex, you know, our ex, you know, whatever you want to talk. Just say hello to them for us. It is what it is.
Please kill Peacemaker. Stab him
What?
to death. Something.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh, the Peacemaker show?
I hate that fucking show. The goofiest.
You know, that's one thing I don't understand. You know, why would you try to make Peacemaker? Okay.
Out of all characters, why give that one? I'll tell you why they gave that one his own show. Exactly. That's why they gave that one. Make mine into a show. I'll help fund it.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of because if you watch the movie, what is the show before the movie?
I don't know, but
or is it after the movie? You know,
I don't know no.
You know, you got, you know.
Again, this is DC.
We gotta stop.
This is DC.
DC, we gotta stop with the bullshit.
Throwing shit on the wall, see what sticks.
Don't you ever do a shit like this again.
Yeah, and it's not DC, it's the people.
It's Warner Brothers.
Getting DC's approval.
It's
DC,
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, it should be like, look, you got some good TV shows. Stay the fuck out of the movies.
Yeah.
Pick one.
You know, pick a horse. You want to do you want the movie run or you want the TV show run? Because if you want to go with the TV show run, we'll back you up. You know, we're with you 100%. Animated movies, you're great. You're better than Marvel. I love them all.
Yeah, see, that's just it. Marvel doesn't really touch any of those areas. They stay out of them because it's chump change.
Yeah.
To them, you know, they have control of the whole, you know, movie line. So, you know. Yeah, they don't. They're like, TV. What the hell's a TV? We don't know what that is.
So yeah, you know, one of the things I want to do, since we got still a little bit of a time, I want to say happy birthday to a few people. One of them being my buddy, my friend, Errol Arias. Happy birthday. I know your birthday's on Sunday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday also
Happy
to
birthday.
your daughter, Yanni, which is on the 23rd. It was, Bianca, happy birthday, which was on the 18th. I mean, it's on the 20th. So,
is she legal?
Huh?
Is she legal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She'll be 25.
Oh, all right.
He just turned a quarter, so it's good,
Meets the cutoff age.
Yeah, it's it's a good point, it's a good point right there. You stay good.
As far as once they get like 40, 55.
Hey, if they look 40 and they look like in the 20s, hey, I don't give a.
I had one. Don't be fooled.
Hey, Danny.
I tell you what, this is a giveaway. If they tell you their age, look at their hands. The hands will tell you what their age is.
Looking between their toes.
You need to focus on the hands because you know where the hands are going to go.
Hey.
And the last thing you want is something wrinkly scraping the hell out of you. So take a look at the hands.
You make sure you look through here, like through here, right here.
Yep.
It'll give you the. It'll give you the expiration date.
You see a lot of the veins and and this is something the ex had told me. She's like, the hands will give away a woman's age because it's it just will. I mean, you look at like my mom. My mom doesn't look that old. Then you look at her hands. And it's like, holy crap, what the hell happened there? Freaking scarecrow.
So you look older than your mom then?
My mom and I, for a longest time, looked the same age. So much so that I would go visit, my dad and I would go see her at work. Because she worked on base at the BX. And he would be off doing something, and I'd be walking around with her. And,
yeah, I do. I do.
They would tell her, she's like, you can't have your boyfriend here. Your husband's walking around. And like, this isn't my boyfriend. This is my son. And like, oh crap, sorry. Or they would call us brother and sister. They would think that I was her brother. Which I often wondered. I was like, okay, is that a compliment to her or an insult to me?
Oh, I would think both.
Yeah, because it's like, so you're saying a 16-year-old looks 30-something?
Damn.
Or 30-something looks 16. I was like, who's getting insulted here, really?
Yeah. Right now, like for me, it's like.
But she is home now and doing okay.
Yeah, I'm glad everything.
She had my mother was in the hospital. She pulled the. I didn't want anybody to worry, so didn't tell anybody until after she had already been admitted. I was there for a few days. She had to get a procedure to basically reset her heart rate. So they basically killed her and then restarted her heart back up.
Mm-hmm.
Which concerns me that they actually have that. Give that a name, that procedure a name, whereas I thought it was just called killing somebody.
Flatliner?
No, it's murder. Oh well, we killed you and brought you back to life. Oh, okay, so you killed her, and it's like, you know what? We changed our mind. Let's bring her back to life.
Yeah.
And you put Abby normal brain in her, and
but for the guys that are here on the podcast watching, I want to throw this out there. It's for the guys. What did you get for Valentine's that is not related for you fixing anything in your house?
Yeah, so you and I are both looking at the count to see if it goes down, right?
Wait
for it.
Wait for it. It dropped.
I told you. The two most asked questions on and after Valentine's. What did you get her? And what did he get you?
Yes, you.
Had nothing. That's why I don't celebrate it.
Yeah. What did you get her, and what did she get you? But did you get her anything? I know you. For us guys, we get her. Things they want and everything they need. But do we get what we want that they don't want us to build something or fix something in return? That's the question.
Because look at the commercials on Valentine's, but leading up to Valentine's, it's all jewelry and Kay's Jewelers and Mother's bracelet, blah blah blah. Then you hear the dun 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 Home Depot commercial, and it's like, build her something special on Valentine's Day. No, fuck you.
Yeah,
I'll build myself something special. Why didn't she get out there and build it for me?
Yeah,
the tools are in the garage. Bitch, get to work.
It's the same thing like for Father's Day. Oh, Father's Day special. Buy some tools. Get Daddy some tools so he can fix something, so he can build that tree house for you. And like, what?
Huh? What? No, that's my day. Oh, they want to, and then the people. Well, we need to cancel Father's Day because what about the same-sex couples? Where there's it's like the same could be said for Mother's Day. Let it go.
We're gonna cancel a day that most fathers decide. Okay, this is our day. This is the day for us to be us. Be happy about it. You want to take the only thing, because we don't have shit. Mother's Day is for Mother's Day is for her. Father's Day is for her. Valentine's Day for her. Christmas for her. Birthday for her. Anniversary for her.
Exactly. Now, I was talking to Vika, and right before Valentine's, he said, we have, do you guys have Valentine's? She asked me, do you guys have Valentine's Day there? I said, yes, we do. And he said, and then she goes, and then the next Monday is for the fathers. And I'm like, huh? I was like, no, Father's Day is not till like June or July or June. And she's like, and so I looked it up, and they actually have, a holiday for fathers, something to do with founding the country or something like that, but it was for the men, fathers in Russia. That's their day.
Do we have to move to Russia?
I'm telling you, I don't know, man.
Yeah. The good thing is we drink vodka.
A lot of it
A lot of it too, yeah.
A lot of it.
You bring me the vodka and the cranberry.
For her, chocolates and flowers. I did, the kids and I did a cupcake bouquet one time. We made cupcakes and decorated them like flowers, put them on skewer sticks, and so it looked like they were flowers in a pot, but they were all cupcakes on top. And it was a really cool idea. I wish I never did that anymore, but it was something different because she had said she hated getting flowers. That's what she said. And I still would buy her flowers. But the whole point behind flowers is they die quickly. Yeah. You want to get her plant-based item. It sounds stupid and whatnot, but get something in a pot.
Get her a cactus.
Like pot. Or
get her a cactus.
Or an orchid.
A cactus. It will never die.
Because right, yeah. I can kill a cactus, don't get me wrong. I'll kill a cactus in a heartbeat. But something that can stay living, and the best part is when you watch her take care of it, you're like, ha ha ha, I got you something you got to look after for a long time. Yeah, I got to make you work.
Those, make sure you get those seeds there. Oh, what you got me? Oh, so you got me any flowers? Yeah,
right there. I hate cut flowers. I would rather have something I can plant. Yeah, like pot seeds.
I think I know I'll be hated after it and
you hate it now.
But I have an idea for it. if I decide to go dating or something like that, I have an idea for the next Valentine's. They'll hate me forever. I'm gonna give them a package of different flower seeds and be like, here you go. Here's the flower seeds. Here's the chocolate.
Oh man,
where are the flowers? You gotta plant them.
Let's just go to Kroger. After you go to Home Depot, go to Kroger and or Publix and get the morsels or the powder, butter, cream. Here, make your own damn chocolates.
Yeah, because you go to Home Depot or you go to Lowe's, you buy the seeds, you buy the pot, you buy the soil, and everything. Oh, here you go. Here's Valentine's gift. What's that? Your flowers.
I'd even heard recently, and talking to some women, that tabletop grower thing, they liked that. They wish they would have gotten that. We grow your own herbs or flowers or pot or something. I keep bringing that up because my ex-wife's a pothead. But they wish they would have gotten something like that. Then they only sold them on sale around Christmas time. So it's like you got to buy your Valentine's Day gifts on Christmas, which is why they put the candy out after Christmas, so that you have to come in and scoop up the clearance of all the Christmas stuff that didn't sell.
Yep. See, for me, you want to give me something, something for Father's Day. If I don't need tools, hey, give me some Gundam. I'm good. Happy. Give me a T-shirt of Star Wars. Something Star Wars. Something to my taste. Don't. Oh, here I bought you a drill set.
Number one, you got me in Milwaukee. Number two, actually it's not even a Milwaukee, it's a Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee, wrong.
You got this at the flea market.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm telling you, when Sandy used to ask me about gifts, what do you want? And I said, well, I've been needing a new monitor. She's like, what's the name? What's the model number? She knows what questions to ask, because I'll tell her, get the LG WB0011A monitor. Fry's has them on sale, so-and-so has them on sale, whatever. And one year when she was getting me this monitor, because she knows if I want something, like if I say I want a drill, I want the, such and such, Makita, this model number. They don't sell them in the store anymore. You have to get it on Amazon. That's the best one.
Yeah.
So, she walked into Fry's, which is an electronics store here, and she asked someone there because one of her friends knew somebody who worked there or something like that. He said, I need this one. I said, well, we have this one here. It's basically the same one. It's just a newer model. He said, no, I can't. He has to have this one. Oh, trust me, he'd rather have this one. I can't get it. And she went ahead and got it anyway, and I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, I didn't want this one. It's missing a feature that I wanted on the model that I asked for.
Yeah, and that's why I say, and it's one or the other, Yes, we are difficult in certain things. It's because we want it our way. It's like you go to Burger King and you want the Whopper your way. You ask her, I want it like this, I want it like that, like this. But yeah.
Did I say pickles? Well, I thought you might like pickles. I said no pickles.
I want no pickles, no onions. You open the bun up, and you're like, you can go with a spatula and pick up all the onions. And like,
speaking of Burger King, did you see that new sandwich they got? The Big Mac 2? I'll tell you right now, that thing's actually pretty good.
You mean the Big King too?
Yeah, that thing's actually pretty good. But the guy, when I ordered it, the guy was like, you know how big it is? And I was like, not really. He's like, you can get this for the same price, and it's much bigger. You sure? It's your choice. He was like he was trying to not sell me. He's like, dude, you're wasting your money on this. I was like, I want to try it. I tried, and I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good. It's the meat. It's the burgers that makes a difference.
Yeah.
The Burger King meats, to me, taste better than the microwave meat at McDonald's. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll fucking eat 20 Big Macs in a row.
I'll go to Wendy's.
Kid's got stomach stomach poisoning from Wendy's one time. They won't go back.
I go to Wendy's or Checkers, one of the two. No, but
Culver's is good.
Yeah, everything. It's like everything that we do or everything that is done in the years. A lot of people are asking, oh, let's change this holiday. Let's change this. They'll change every single other holiday except for Mother's Day, Christmas, and that's it. Like Valentine's Day, don't change it because they already know. Okay, it's February 14th, May 11th, and December 25th. Those are the three main holidays. Every other holiday, they can go screw themselves. Like there's no fault. They want to get rid of Father's Day. Grandpa, they wanted at one time they wanted to bring the grandparents' day, to like celebrate them too and all that stuff. No, it didn't pass. Dog Day is gone. Kids Day is gone. And they brought it up to the neighborhood. Nope. All those, all ones and one another. It's like, we can do this. We can do this because it will be good for us, or it's because it's good for you that we're doing this.
Yeah,
that too.
Was it? It boils down to that phrase that I really like hearing. It's not offensive. You're just offended.
Yeah.
And nothing happens when you're offended.
Yeah.
Life goes on. You just So, I don't like Father's Day, it's offensive. Then don't celebrate it. Let the rest of us that do have our fun.
So, but with that, it's offensive for them. But with that, it makes me question: why is it offensive for you? Because there's a day dedicated to the fathers, so we should get offended on Mother's Day. Because
I am offended on Mother's Day.
We are fathers. Oh yeah, but fathers don't do much. Some fathers don't do much, the same way some mothers don't do shit. We are.
I know one. Sorry.
Emotional damage.
I can't remember if I told you this, but the day she, I guess you could say we threw her out. Because even the youngest looked at her and said, yes, I want you to leave. That was January 1st, New Year's Day. From that day till the lawyer said, hey, you have to pay X amount of dollars in child support. In October. She didn't pay anything to help support the kids. Now, see, this is where I got to commend you. You're doing the right thing. As are a lot of other fathers and mothers out there doing the right thing. This worthless thing spent $2,000 within the first month and a half that she moved in with her boyfriend on him. Nothing went to the children. No food money, no clothes money, nothing. Didn't help buy her oldest daughter's first car. Didn't give her a graduation present. Now, granted, she was kicked out of the graduation because she wasn't supposed to be there. But
still,
it's and it goes to his ex-wife, who I used to talk to a lot. One of their sons stopped talking to her. They had a falling out or something like that. And she continuously tries to buy him Christmas presents and birthday presents, knowing damn good and well that he will throw them away unwrapped or unopened. He won't even unwrap them. He'll just toss them in the garbage.
No.
But she still does it.
Tries. Yeah, she still tries. Yeah, and all that. But originally, going through a lot of stuff, we go, life is just a roller coaster. We go up and down. Our times, times have changed, different ways and different, nowadays, back in our day, we will get beat the shit out of us just for acting up. Nowadays, you try to touch a kid, you go to jail. Oh, I'm calling the cops.
I was sitting on the carport, and the base housing that we lived at in California, we uh, there was like old base housing and new base housing. We lived in old base housing, and you'll know why. If you ever looked at it, you'd know why they called it old base housing. They didn't have garages. We had carports, multi-car carports. So you'd have each house had 2 slots, and then a shed and whatnot. And they were flat roofs. Buddy of mine were on top. My dad pulls up, comes home from work, and I'm looking. I was like, "Shit, we better get down." He doesn't like it when I'm up here. He stood in his uniform at the front door, waiting for me to come around the corner. I walked up to the door like we were gonna walk inside. One-handed knocked me down to the ground. One-handed grabbed my hair, picked me back up on my feet, and said, "I told you never get up on that roof." And I was 15, I think at the time. 14, 15.
Dang.
So I wasn't small. But, back then, that happened. You let it happen. You didn't question it. You dusted yourself off. Maybe, because your pride was hurt in front of your friend, and you moved on.
Yep. And nowadays, it's like I was having a conversation a while ago with my kid's mom, and she was like, "What would you do if one of your sons decides to square up to you?" And I'm like, well, at that moment, that kid will know his world is gonna twitch upside down. And she goes like, "What you mean?" I'm like, I'm not gonna beat the shit out of him, but
he's gonna.
I am going to give him one hit, and from that hit, he will remember not to mess with his father.
I've always told the kids, and even my oldest, you'll never be old enough to square up against your old man. I don't do it to my dad. My dad never did it to his dad. None of the kids ever did it to their dad. I will be happy to be yelled at. If you're upset about something, that's fine.
Let it out.
Yeah, let it out. That's what I'm here for. Even Alexis, she's I would say like a few years ago, I slapped her across the face. I'll admit it. I slapped her across the face, because she was acting up. But at the same time, she knew what had happened. She knew what she did, and she never did it again. And we're still tight as ever, But she'll sit there and like last night, I was trying to say something. She kept interrupting me, and rather than say stop acting like your mother, which would not have been a good thing to do at all, she backed down and said, I'm sorry, and we carried on, and the night went as normal. So they don't square up, but I don't mind them coming at me with something, even if it's something I did. Bring it. Let's talk about it. Yell at me. And then I look at him and say, "Are you done yelling?" "Yeah, okay. Let me explain why I did what I did, and let me apologize for it."
Yeah. Like for me, because I remember one time I got really upset and I yelled at my dad. He beat the living shit out of me. And I'm like, okay.
Not doing that again.
I'm like, okay. So I'm like, it was the wrong approach to let my, whatever was eating me inside. Okay. Even though he told me, let it all out. Tell me how you feel. I'm like, I can't speak it. Can't get just let it come out the way whatever comes out. I'm like, okay. So even though saying it that way, it came out and he beat the shit out of me, but then he walked away and realized what I said was right and what they were saying about me was wrong, which was my stepsister at that time. She was blaming me of not doing dishes and all that stuff and not mowing the lawn. So they sent me to the room. I had done dishes before I went to the room, and I was eating in my room. Dad comes in, "Oh, why are the dishes there?" I'm like, "I already did the dishes. Didn't you see me doing dishes?" He was like, "No," and all that stuff. So he starts yelling, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm tired of this." He goes like, "What?" I'm like, "I can't say it. I got so much rage inside. He goes, let it out. So I left it out. He comes out and he sees her putting the dishes there and walking away. He goes, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to my room. And why didn't you do the dishes? Oh, it's his turn to do the dishes. My dad was like, he just did the dishes. Whatever dishes go into the sink, it's your responsibility now. Oh no, he has to do the things
that's not how it
because
works.
I am a girl and I can't do it. My dad looked at her and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just like I have never had to come to the point where I have to square up. I will, like you said, I will listen to you. You can yell at me and all that stuff, and I'll be like, you feel good now? Yeah. You want to sit down and talk? Okay, we're good. But don't you come to me and be like, oh, square up and be like, what? And I'll be like, you see, at that moment, you fucked up.
Yeah. You raise hands, that's one thing. If
You
you
wanna
want
be
to
treated
scream and yell and let your frustration out, that's another thing. And it's, the ex has posed the question, why is it that, because my daughter put a TikTok video out, and one of the questions in the video is one of those question answer type videos. One of who you most scared of, and it was me. And was it me? Yeah, it was me. She says, well, why is it they're more scared of you, but they talk to you? And there's a million things I could tell her why, but basically it boils down to they respect me. Yep. Not because of I was the one that always disciplined them and got the belt and whatnot. That's the way I was raised. But at the same time, you got the belt, but after you walked out of your bedroom and your dad's sitting there laying there watching TV and whatnot, you could sit down with him and watch the show. Or yeah, now that's the mom. That's the mom threw the flipper, the slipper,
the chancleta.
But you could sit down with your dad and talk to him and about whatever you're watching, because what's done was done. You knew you fucked up. You knew you're gonna have to be disciplined. Now we're done. Their mom would psychoanalyze the thing for like 2 hours, to the point where the kids were like, will you please just spank me now and get this over with, because I'm done listening to this. I would scream, yell at them, ground them, spank them, whatever. Come back 30 minutes later, says, hey, you hungry? Yeah, let's go get something to eat, or something like that. Or I said, what you doing? I'm playing a game. I was like, and we talk. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, you start realizing, even with this day and age, not so much coddling and oh, we don't want to spank our kids. It's still here. But
it's like,
you have to change your tactics.
Oh yeah,
what's beneficial? It's like, oh, you give them everything, you give them this, you give them that. No, I don't give them jack shit. I said it's a give and take. They want to play the computer, fine. I give your computer back, but this is what's going to happen. I said, I'm going to lock it up. When you're done with your homework and your chores, I will unlock it and you can play until 10 o'clock. Then it's bedtime and the computer locks up again. So yeah, he's getting it, she's getting it under restrictions.
Yep.
But I'm getting what I need to have done, which is their chores and their homework, and they're getting what they want. So it works. So you have to change your tactics.
Yep.
So when she says, oh, can you buy this for me? Okay. Well, you need to take care of the litter boxes and do this and do that. Basically, I overpay for labor in this house. More than anything.
It's not cheap labor.
Overpay for labor.
You're not cheap labor.
Yeah, they're not cheap labor. I mean, litter boxes probably cost about, $250 a month to do.
Hey, son. I can take care of them.
But but again, it's a give and take. It's compromise. You can't do the disciplining worked when we were young. It made us who we are. And even the unsaid teachings that our parents gave us, we didn't We weren't taught to be kind to one another. We weren't taught to love your family. We weren't taught to do that, but we could see it. And when you reflect back, you realize how much your family, mother, father, brother, sister, whoever, taught you without saying a word. You know, just through their actions, and it hits you hard when you think about it. So when it comes to disciplining the kids, it's the same thing. It's like, I can't keep being my dad. I have to be me.
Yep.
So what's gonna benefit me? It may sound selfish, but it's not. What benefits the house?
That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. But you know, the things, you know, generations are different. Every generation have, they're growing up, going through their certain stage. We go through the stage right now that you're in the street, your kid acts up, you spank him, and the person saw you, he calls the cop, and you're like, listen, it's my kid. Oh no, but you can't hit him. It's my kid. You're gonna discipline him? No, then shut the fuck up. Leave me and get out of my way. Thank you very much. You know, it's one of those things. But you know, we try to do the best we can with what we got.
Things you can do in Russia you can't do here. Beat your kid in the street.
things you can do in Puerto Rico that you can't do in USA. That's one of the main things. But you know, hope you guys enjoy the show. For everything that we are doing, you know, we just wanted to open out a topic and just throw everything out there. You know, like we said, your questions, your mom, my ex. Right?
Yeah, let's face it. It's for me. It's been a shit week, so I couldn't come up with anything to talk about.
Yeah, you know, for me, it's been a roller coaster, up and down.
Yeah, it's rough for both of us right now. We're trying to come up with some stuff to keep you guys entertained and happy. Hope you enjoyed it.
Next time, you know, we'll have some Russian ballet going on next time. I'll put the tablet, I'll put the tablet back here and and you'll have the red room going around.
I got some Russian soft porn on my phone right now. I won't say from who.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. But thank you very much, people, you know, for coming out today. Like we always say, you know, stay safe, be out there, you know, keep doing what you do. If it makes you happy, hey, go for it. Don't let anybody bring you down. Don't let anybody tell you in this world you can't do something, because you can. And that's one of the most important things. Also, remember, like every other Friday, we have the podcast, and we got the birthday shout outs like we did today, and we did on the last podcast we had. You know, we're going to be doing shout outs during the month of the podcast. So if your birthday lands up with our podcast, you will hear the shout out. Follow the TikTok page, MW _ it is what it is _ podcast. Follow my man Pinoy here on TikTok and Instagram. Follow me as well, and we'll hope to see you again. So remember, like I always say, what we do in this life echoes through eternity. I am Maverick Wolf. That's Pinoy. Have a great night, people.